Okay, a bit of a real-life intrusion. When I finished recording the Map11 video, believe it or not, my hard drive finally started to croak on me after a good 5-year run. I was able to back up everything, and I'm no longer using it. By the time you see this video, I've already gotten a new one, but as of this recording, I'm just using like a spare that I happen to have, so I can at least continue this Let's Play and whatnot. So my stats are different from what you saw previously, and it's because I had to replay Map11 because I did not save on the entirety of Map11, and I was not able to save once I finished Map11 because that's when my hard drive started to go. So I didn't have a whole lot of options there. So I just decided to suck it up and replay it, and it didn't end up too bad. I ended up with better stats, so I guess that's a gain, huh? But yeah, just a bit of a real-life hassle there. It always sucks when your hardware starts going dead on you, especially on the weekend, because then you have to wait all the way until fucking Monday or Tuesday usually. And that sucks. I really hate that, but I suppose it's life. But anyway, we're now able to get back on track here. So I concluded the last video by talking just about, you know, the very beginning of the laptop days, how it was a huge step for me and how it was just a very... It was an incredible thing to finally have my own machine, and it was a good machine for old school gaming, because I mean it was already several years old at the time that it first came out, but these days it would be even better because, you know, finding old machines that can run games from the DOS era are not as common as they used to be, especially with the advent of Windows 2000, XP, Vista 7 and beyond. You know, they just don't make them like they used to. And while there are alternatives, like in Doom's case, source ports, or in other cases, stuff like DOSBox, those are nice commodities, but just to have a legitimate machine, you can never beat the real thing. That's just the way I see it. You can't beat the real thing. But it is nice to be able to have something that can emulate it in a pinch. Oh, holy shit, he didn't die. Bitch. What the H-star star? What's this guy doing? What the hell? Okay, damn. That kind of sucked. I know why he didn't die, though. It's because I didn't feed him the tracers by running into him. I just hit him with the freaking impact. Now, I never understand where that imp comes from, because I swear I kill every imp in this room, and then I come back and there's one always wandering around. It really kind of bothers me. But that's the way the wind blows, I guess. Blows. So I really loved that laptop. It was a great machine, and this was around the time that I started to pay a little more attention to mods. Whether I would transport them via the esoteric disk system that I talked about previously, or if I would have gotten them, actually used them on my dad's computer, which I was still using to some extent at the time. Not nearly as much because I had my own machine. But until late 2003 is what that would have been. Late 2003 is when I finally got internet, and up until that point I only could use internet on my father's machine. But regardless, I would continue to... What is this guy doing? I would use the internet on his machine, but I would use everything else on my machine because I was able to. I mean, why use anything else but my machine, especially since, you know, it was mine, it was a personal thing. I could do whatever I wanted with it, and I couldn't get in trouble unless, of course, I was doing something terribly illegal, but... who does that? I don't know. I never did anything like that. Excuse me. And I remember putting old games on there. I mean, I was talking about this in the last video, although I do have to kind of refresh myself a little bit because it's been a couple days since I've been able to record due to the tragic hard drive failure, which, just to deviate a little bit again, I'm extremely fortunate that my drive decided to basically telegraph its final hours to me. Because what happened is it started to, their sectors are starting to go bad, and it's starting to use up spare sectors. And as a result, you know, it's just, it was reaching the end. I was able to use it partially, but I noticed what would happen is it would disappear from the Explorer if I continued to use it, especially if there was a lot of reading and writing going on. And that's no good, you know? Obviously, I didn't want that. BFG'd those guys because you know how much I hate them. But I fell because of stupid blocking monsters. If I can get one good BFG shot in, I can take care of everything else. But I don't want to waste it on him, obviously. As a kid, I always used to thought that you had to do the final segment by doing this. I thought you had to jump across. Well, shit, I guess I'm not going to be able to do it now. Or can I? Oh, of course I can die. Fucking idiot. The game's kind of distracting me from my nostalgia talk, but it's okay. I'm sure you guys know where I'm going with this. Anyway, it was very fortunate that I was able to save everything off of that drive before it died, because had that drive completely dropped dead on me with no chance to get anything off of it, I seriously would have considered strangling myself with concertina wire, because holy shit, there is so much on that hard drive, some of it dating as far back as the first laptop, which I've been talking about. I mean, there's some old stuff on there. It doesn't, I mean, the old stuff doesn't necessarily exist in its original form from, you know, the early 2003, but it's stuff that I had at that time. And so there's a lot of stuff on that drive that losing would be just, I'd be shattered. So it's good that I was able to save it, because, I mean, I don't even know where I'd be if I didn't have that stuff. I know it sounds pretty pathetic to have an attachment to something like that, but, you know, it's history, man. Just like anything else. It's like if you lost all your favorite yearbooks or photo albums or something like that, just in a kind of different context. Now let's get the goodies. I'm going to save that for the very end, because I don't want to do forced radiation runs and lose any of it. I want to be at 200 when I complete the level, because I got to go over here and go down in here. And of course I didn't time it properly, so I took damage. Oh well. The first laptop, it wasn't the strongest machine in the world. You know, I'm not going to try and say that it was. But for old school gaming, it was great. And I talked about this as well. But, I mean, it really was a nice machine for old school gaming. Now, let me do a prosperity save here. There we go. Perfect. I should probably save more often, lest, you know, bad things happen. And that way I don't have to replay entire levels to get to where I was. But, yeah, that's how that is.